If you are new here, I share about motherhood, Black culture, mental health, and our experiences navigating life as a neurodivergent family. So if any of that resonates with you, I would love it if you would please subscribe and share. In this video, I'm going to talk about what feeding therapy is, why we started it for our son, what our sessions look like, how it's going for us so far, and what we have learned along the way. So first things first, what is feeding therapy? Basically, feeding therapy is help for kids who struggle with eating. And I'm not just talking about picky eating, because most of our kids go through picky eating. What I mean is kids who gag at certain textures, or who completely just refuse to eat entire food groups, or who have a hard time chewing or swallowing safely. In our case, our son, he just doesn't eat anything. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I get it because my child doesn't eat anything either. Now, when he was a lot younger, we just said to ourselves, okay, it's a phase, he'll grow out of it. If he's really hungry, he's gonna eat, you know. However, after school started, it became a point where his teachers started noticing as well that he wasn't eating anything. And for us, we really were just choosing our battles. So we sent him to school with his safe foods, which ended up being a bunch of snacks. And what I mean are, like, it's gonna sound just like a bunch of junk, a bunch of beige foods. No fruits, no vegetables, even pancakes, no syrup. French fries he enjoys, but there are just like no meat. There are a lot of different things that he's just not eating. Can you tell us what your favorite foods are? What do you love to eat?
I love to eat noodles, rice, pizza, and hot dogs. And I'll tell you what I would love to eat for a snack. And it's muffins. They actually kind of little bites.
And does mommy ask you to eat other foods just to have a little taste to see how you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you always give it a try?
Sometimes.
Okay. So for us, meal times were becoming really stressful. I would make, I do try to make stuff that everybody likes, but I want to make sure that all of our meals are balanced meals, protein, starch, vegetables, that sort of thing. And it's not even like we were forcing him to eat every single thing on his plate. We really wanted him to just try things just to see if you like him. You can't eat noodles every single day. I just kind of felt horrible. I felt guilty. I felt bad because I was really trying every single thing to get him to eat other stuff. And if we're being completely honest, I kind of started feeling weird having to explain to his teacher every single day why he was only eating certain foods. I mean, I get it, you know, it's just an awkward situation when you have to explain to your kid's teacher, listen, I'm trying the best that I can. We're working on it. We're doing the best. We're just doing the best that we can over here. What does feeding therapy look like for us? Now, first things first, our very first appointment was something like an evaluation, consultation. There were about 4 or 5 people in the room with us. I'm sorry, I can't remember exactly what everybody's roles were. I know for sure there was a nutritionist in there and the feeding therapist, and I can't remember who else were in there, just getting information, asking our son different questions about, you know, what he likes, what he doesn't like, asking us about his eating habits, what he eats for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, that sort of thing, just compiling a bunch of information. So once we decided to proceed with the feeding therapy, our first session was, now for us, because I have not spoken to too many other people to figure out what their sessions look like, but every kid's therapy looks different. Playing with food in a no pressure way, touching, smelling, exploring new textures, practicing tiny bites of new foods, working on chewing skills, moving food around in the mouth, learning to stay calm and regulated during meals. There's no forcing anything. It's really gentle. It's okay, like for sure our son is definitely saying, nope, I don't like that, no thanks, all of the above. But first things first, he's just trying to touch it, put it up to his mouth, you know, just to kind of, you know, get familiar with it, the smell, the touch, the look.
Poke. Ooh, nice job. All right, where should we put it? Does it feel hot still, or does it feel cold? Or maybe warm? Warm, perfect. All right, I'm gonna poke one.
I like.
Wait, we gotta get one of each color first. Which green one do you want? Perfect.
I am a fruit.
Whoop.
It's big one.
Do you want to use your fingers to help? Nice job. All right, we've got our pancakes. Which one should we explore first?
This
The
one.
white one. Okay, ready? Let's use, should we use our nose or our lips to explore it first?
Or lips.
Okay, our lips. How does it feel on your lips?
Good.
Ooh, mine feels kind of smooth and a little bit warm.
And also, what's important is giving him vocabulary to describe what it is about particular foods he doesn't like. Because for the most part, he just says, I don't like that. He hasn't even tasted it. He hasn't tried it. He just looks at it and says, I don't like that. So for us, it's hard for us to figure out where to go next, because I don't know what about it you don't like. Do you not like the way it smells? Do you not like the way it looks? What is it? You haven't even tasted it. You haven't touched it. And then after you've tasted it or touched it and you still say you don't like it, what is it about it you don't like? So we can fix it. We can work on it. I remember this one particular time. Now my husband makes the best grits in the world. Yes. We love his grits. My son loves his grits. So we knew he was going to eat the grits. However, we didn't realize it, and he made it too thick this one particular time. So when he put the plate down in front of him, my son grabbed the spoon and immediately said, "This isn't like the grits I usually like." So of course we're just staring at him like, what does that even mean? We made it exactly the same. And it wasn't until I took a bite out of mine that I said, you know what? It's just a little bit thicker this time. And it was something that was so small, but he noticed. And that texture difference, it really made all the difference for him, because for me, it was fine. It tasted exactly the same. It was still good. And I was trying to tell him, if you would just taste it, you will see that it is exactly the same grits that you're used to. But nah, it was just slightly too thick for him. He didn't say that, but I did talk to him about it, so at least he could know, he could use the words in the future, and he would know, you know what, Daddy, I like it when it's a little bit runnier, a little bit like soupier, more like soup. The consistency is what he did not like. Did you smell it? Can you smell it for me?
How's the texture?
Can you try to just put your tongue on it? Yeah, it's just cheese on a little noodly noodle. Can you try it? Just take one little bite from Mom.
22 years, 16 years. You got much younger as well. So why would you not pass it off to somebody who was
What do you think about it?
similar in age to you? Why are you still holding on to it?
What don't you like about it?
There was something else I was
Of the
gonna say
way
about that too,
that's
Scotty.
slimy.
Okay.
Tell me if this is wrong.
Giving him the tools to tell us what about certain foods he does and doesn't like. There was another session where she did ask us to bring one of his safe foods, his favorite foods. So when they got in the therapy session, she knew that she was going to make a little bit of progress, because this is a food that he likes. And at least that way we could figure out, okay, what is it about this that you like? So that maybe we can recreate that with other foods. Including him in the process is also something else. I forgot to mention that with involving him in the process. My sons, both of them, they really love helping me in the kitchen. There are times when, depending on what I'm doing, I'm trying to work on letting them help me a little bit more, because sometimes I'm just trying to fix this food up so we can sit down and eat. But in his therapy sessions, he is always allowed to help, which he absolutely enjoys.
It's not changing color.
It's not changing color.
So they were making mini pancakes, which is another one of his favorite foods, but they were adding different things to the pancakes. One was some spinach that was blended up in a blender. Another one was maybe some shredded cheese, because he loves shredded cheese. So maybe if we put shredded cheese in the pancakes, hey, who knows? Just different things to see if he would love them. Not my kid, because the pancakes were green, and no, telling him it was Incredible Hulk pancakes did not work.
The green? All right, ready? First, let's explore it with our fingers. Let's poke it. How does it feel? Does it feel soft or hard?
This point is out too.
Oh, it's pretty soft. All right, ready? Let's use our nose to explore it.
Yuck.
Oh, does it smell different to you?
It smells different. This
Smells
one,
different?
this one's my most favorite. I want to
Wait, you haven't tried the other ones yet. You don't know what your favorite is.
This one tastes just like the white one to me.
All right, we're gonna explore our green pancake a little bit more. How's Mom exploring it? She explored it with her teeth. Oh, I like that you're exploring with your nose. How does the strawberry one feel? Does it feel soft or does it feel hard?
It feels soft.
Soft. I feel some bumps where the strawberries are, huh? I can see that you're poking it. All right, ready? We're gonna rip our Hulk pancake. Can you use your Hulk muscles to rip your Hulk pancake?
I'm going to cut this.
Wait, we're doing our green pancake. Ready? Let's rip. Use your fingers. Let's rip it. Whoa!
Others.
What do you see on the inside?
Green.
Green. Ooh, ready? We're gonna explore it with our tongue. Oh, let's get our green pancake. Do you want a big piece or a little piece?
I don't feel like tasting it.
We're just gonna touch it to our tongue for now. You don't have to eat it if you're not ready. We're just touching it to our tongue.
It doesn't taste good.
Wait, we can't taste too much when we touch it with our tongue. Let's
How it's going so far. If I'm being very, very honest, which I am, it's slow. Yeah. And I remember my husband was just saying to himself, I can't wait for him to start therapy because he's going to be eating all the food. And I had to tell him, it's not going to be like he's going to go in there one day and come out eating steaks and double cheeseburgers and all that other stuff. No, that's not what's going to happen. However, feeding therapy isn't a quick fix. Some days it feels like there are huge wins. And other days it feels like we haven't done anything and we're just back to square one. Overall, I'm seeing tiny shifts. But I do like that he's open to trying new things. Macaroni and cheese is one of my favorite things. All kids love mac and cheese, right? No, not my baby. I made mac and cheese and literally put one itty bitty like noodle or elbow macaroni, one little one on his plate and asked him to try it. Did he try it? Yes. However, he did not like the texture. And that is what I'm noticing so far as time goes on. I get it though, because I am a huge texture person as well. It's just that I'm an adult. So I'm feeling more that texture is what his aversion is. There have been some other wins. He's starting to eat a little more protein. He absolutely loves his father's steak. But if we're being honest, my husband makes an amazing steak. Like, I'm not even just saying this because I'm his wife. Because when I met him, I wasn't even a big meat eater. However, his steak is like butter. It is amazing. And everybody in this house loves that steak. So yes, baby boy does love that steak. And he has been eating chicken. Now, he's not eating tons and tons of it, but he's eating enough to where we are satisfied. And we're just hoping as time goes on, it's going to get better. What we have learned. And if you are a parent who's also struggling with your child eating foods, I just want you to know you're not alone. I know sometimes it feels like everybody's kids are eating everything, but they're not. You just don't get to see what's happening behind closed doors. I work in an integrated preschool, so there are some times where it's snack time and I see the kids, they're bringing out edamame, mango, salmon, and I'm just jealous, thinking to myself, oh my God, these kids are such great eaters. But then when I'm talking to their parents, they're like, oh my gosh, no, you don't even know. That is literally the only thing that he or she eats. That's all that they eat. So believe me, you're not alone. This isn't your fault, because honestly, when they were younger, my babies ate almost anything you put in front of their face. It wasn't until they got a little bit older that things started shifting. So it's not because you're a bad parent or you didn't try hard enough. And I know a lot of people, especially social media, please stay away from social media. Social media parents think they know everything. And so people are going to tell you, oh, if you put it in front of their face or give it to them when they're young, you know, they're going to like it. Or if you eat it, they're going to eat it. That is not always the case. The small wins matter, like seriously. Touching the food, sitting calmly at the table, exploring new smells, all of those things count. Honestly, our older son, and as you know, we are an autistic household, neurodivergent household. He doesn't even really sit down when he eats, but we have gotten okay with that. He's eating. He's the kid that has to stand up and do most things. He's gonna need one of those stand-up desks when he gets older and he's working. When he's eating, he does like to stand up a lot. And as long as he's in the kitchen, we're okay. Because I don't want a bunch of, food on my floor, on my living room floor, on my couch. But it is the small wins that matter. And honestly, as always, if you can, get help as early as you can. Trust your gut. If meal times feel like they're a daily battle, it's okay to ask for help, And if it doesn't work for you or your family, it's okay. YMMV, your mileage may vary. Everything isn't always for everybody. Be gentle with yourself. Parenting is emotional, it's exhausting, but it's also worth it. Food is more than just nutrition. It's connection, culture, joy. So I also don't want my children to have any sorts of weird issues with food either. Because that can be another problem within itself. So that's really what we're working on as a family, that's what we're working on over here. Thank you so much for letting me share this little piece of our journey. I hope it resonated with somebody. And as you know, this is ongoing for us. Things might change. He might wake up tomorrow and say, you know what, I want to eat all the things. Or he can go to therapy next week and say, I don't want to eat anything. So this is just an ongoing process for us. And if anything else comes up that works for us, that feels good, that sounds good, I am always going to share with you because that's what I'm here for. I just want all of you to know that you're not alone. I hope you feel a little less alone because we're going through it over here as well. But all we can do is reach out to people, be there for each other. I'm open to answer any questions you may have. Drop me a line anytime. And if this video resonated with you, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It really does help me keep creating content like this. So until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.